So you all know that networking is like pretty important, but like a unappreciated fact about networking is that your networks compound over time. You know, they experience like some level of exponential growth because the more connections you make, the more introductions that you can possibly exist. And what's important is like basically if you weren't born with a lot of connections, you're starting from ground zero. And it kind of takes like a really long time to compound because you have to like create all of these connections organically, and the amount like the degrees of freedom of like every single a connection you have is pretty limited, right? And what business school does is, for example, is it increases like your starting point of your network, you know? Like I feel like not a lot of people realize networking is important when they're really young because like you're making friends, but you're not making friends for the purpose of like building a network. You're kind of just making friends for the purpose of making friends. But like I feel like when you're like in your late 20s, you start realizing like, oh, okay, like my professional life is really important. So you need to like start compounding your network. And you do that like with business school. You basically, when you go to business school, you basically start out with a higher point of compounding, and that extends for like the rest of your life. And that's like why it's like somewhat important to go to business school if this is like something you're considering, because like when you have a higher point, starting point of your network, it can compound a lot higher for the rest of your life.